Hello everyone. Today we will learn how to install and configure NFS Server for creating a local share for your client. You can follow this tutorial to create a production level storage share environment. We will use two systems for this tutorial. One will act as the NFS server and other will act as the NFS client. We are using Red Hat Linux Enterprise 9 for this tutorial. Also, you can follow this tutorial for RHCSA exam preparation. Let's start. As I was saying, we will be using two systems for this tutorial. One will be our NFS server and other will be the NFS client. Let's log into the NFS server and configure it. We are using local repository here. For configuring local repository in Linux system, you can check this video. Now we will install the nfs-utils package for NFS server. Package has been installed. During the installation of NFS packages, system will automatically install a new user called nobody. NFS service is currently stopped. Let's enable it to start up and start the service. Service is running now. Let's configure the NFS server. We'll create a new directory which will be the shared directory for our NFS. And we will give all permission to user nobody to that directory. Exports is the main configuration file for NFS server, which is under etc directory. First, we will write the directory name which will be shared across the network. And then we will write to where we want to share this location. In our case, we are permitting our whole network to access the NFS server. Then we will provide read, write and sync parameter for the shared directory. After we are done with the exports file, let's save it. We need to restart the NFS service to take effect the change we just made. Let's check the NFS status with showmount-e command. By the output, we can see our NFS server is allowing the TechTalk directory across the LAN. Now we will configure the firewall for allowing NFS traffic. We will allow service NFS, rpc-bind and mount D for NFS service. After the firewall configuration, we will reload the firewall D service. Our NFS server configuration is done. Let's move to configure the client NFS service so that the client can use the shared directory from NFS server. From the client system with showmount-e command, we are checking what the NFS server is advertising for its client. As we can see, our NFS server is sharing its TechTalk directory to its NFS client. Now we need to create a directory where we will mount the shared location from the NFS server. We can mount the NFS directory at runtime by this command. Our NFS directory is mounted. Let's use it. Our NFS directory is accessible, readable, and writable from the client system. But this mount process works only for runtime. If we restart the system, it will be unmounted. Now let's do persistent mount of that NFS directory. First, we need to unmount the NFS server. For persistent mounting, we need to edit the fstab file under etc directory. Go to the end of the file, create a new line. The syntax is IP of the NFS server and the shared directory name followed by a semicolon and a forward slash. Then press a tab or a space, anything will do. And then type the mounted point. Again a space or tab. Then type the file system. Here we are using NFS4 and rest of the line is the default text with 00. We are using default parameter here. When we are done, save and exit the file. Now mount the NFS directory with mount-av command. With option A, we are telling the system mount all the available file system, and with option V, it means verbose. Our NFS directory is mounted successfully. Let's check by rebooting the system. System rebooted. We will check the persistent mount when the system comes online. And yes, the NFS share mounted automatically with the system powered on. That's it for today. We have successfully configured NFS server and mounted the NFS file system or the shared directory in the client system. In our next video, we will learn how to mount AutoFS directory with the same NFS server. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.